Hello everybody, my name is Joe Yu. I'm the founder of ArkLex AI. I'm also a professor at Columbia University. Today I'm going to talk about AI agents. How can AI agents specifically help e-commerce to make the retails much more efficient over time? I have been a professor for 8 years. I've been working on various AI projects for the past 17 years with various big enterprises such as Walmart, Capital One, Pearson, and so on. Today, first we start with what is AI agents. So AI agents is not a new concept. It has been there for a long time. It's more about with the large language model, it's becoming more and more convenient, more and more adaptable to environments. The agent will first perceive information from the environment. So it's processing text, image, audio to get information about the world, and then fuse these information together to understand its situation, and then utilize its internal brain. Now what we have is large language model to break down bigger tasks into smaller steps. Through chain of thoughts reasoning, it will be able to do various different reasonings on every step, and then pick different tools to use in order to complete large, complex tasks. We also have interesting steps like reflection to understand how well we are doing so far, which we call meta reasoning as well. Well, in terms of tool calling, similar to human, you can use different tools to augment yourself. Agents can do that too. It can call tools to send emails, call tools to send SMS message. You can call tools to even move from A to B, for example, as a robot. Before, we're mostly purchasing softwares, and employees would use these softwares to make them more efficient. But nowadays, AI agents can also be one of the entities to cooperate with human agents in order to supercharge the entire team's productivity. So here we're replacing human agents. We're talking about there are certain things that human agents can dispatch the AI agents to do because they're more efficient, more repeatable. And then the human can actually expand their scopes to expand the enterprise operation scope in order to make the company more revenue. So there are different levels of AI agents. I would usually like to do self-driving. If you think about level 1, it's just simple chatbots that people have bad experience. It's simply just answer questions. It's not very intelligent. Level 2 is more about it utilize large language model, but with prompting processes. So the process is super simple, so sometimes you would have errors, and people still have to be in the loop in order to use them. For example, human assist within customer service. And level 3 is what we are mostly talking about today, are agents that can perform certain services through calling different tools, through utilizing reasonings. So it can actually by itself complete certain tasks. Well, level 4 is we call it innovators. So the agents are not only taking what the instructions of a human, but will be able to invent new tasks, be able to invent new efficient processes in order to complete overall bigger tasks better. And level 5 is what we wanted to see in the science fiction, like Java's from Iron Man, that you give all your credentials and trust to Java's, while you can do other things like you're being a superhero, and Java's can help you manage your corporation, help you manage your home, and so on. If we look at the AI agent ecosystems, there are 4 layers. We start with the foundation large language model layer, and then we have the second layer that on top, which is because large language model traditionally wasn't trained for taking actions. So currently we have methods in terms of how to elicit better agent behaviors using existing large language model. So this is what usually we call it test time compute scaling. And then on top of that, we have the agent orchestration framework, which is if we already have the large language model, you can't just use this simply using prompting to do tasks. You still have to be able to enable these large language models to be able to have the extension of which tool to use. What kind of planning algorithm decides which processes to perform first? And also some guardrails to make sure that the agents are not breaking security protocols and so on. And then finally, we have to make sure that agents are planning in a high success rate, high efficiency, and controlled fashion. So this middle layer is what we call agent orchestration framework. And finally, on top of the orchestration framework, you can utilize all the tools, all the integrations, all the algorithms together to build for a specific application. For example, you can build an agent to do reimbursement. You can build an agent to do sales. So this is what we call vertical applications that is closer to the ROIs of individual companies. While ArkLex is centered on our agent orchestration, which is helping developers to develop their own agent application. But we also have example AI agent SaaS products that we built on top of the orchestration layer that amplifies our utility, also showcases how these vertical agents could be built through our orchestration layer. Today, we're going to specifically talk about our application SaaS product on e-commerce. Before we dive into what functionalities our e-commerce agents have, we want to first look into why is our framework much better than the other one. The traditional automated workflow starts with what we call simple automation. Just like what we talked about, these chatbots have a specific script. If this happens, you do this. And it's very easy to build, but has very rigid so simple applications that you're using every day, for example, is like the Canva post scheduler or the HubSpot chatbots. Well, the second automation is what we call AI workflows. So you have different steps that you predefined. If this happens, you do that. But each step was controlled by large language model. So you're prompting large language model to do the connection between them. It's really great if you have a good knowledge base to design the workflow. But if it's pre-designed, you still have to have a lot of time to maintain this workflow, because whenever your domain knowledge change, your structure has to change. More advanced chatbots like Zendesk, like AnswerBot, was built this way. While right now with the AI agents, instead of having predefined flow, people are just letting the agents to explore given the tools that they have, using the reasoning powered by the base large language models. It's great that it's can real time to do the exploration, but also has high costs because for every particular task, it needs to do the exploration, which is very expensive. And at the same time, it may not do the same process every time, so it lacks consistency. So one of the examples is the coding agent Cursor. Every time you call it, it will generate different types of code. So what ArkLex tries to do is combine the AI workflow with the AI agent to become more controlled, but at the same time flexible enough to expand. How ArkLex works, we have a structure called a Taskgraph, which is similar to the AI workflow, but has various tool callings embedded in. We started with an e-commerce example. First, we want to build an AI agent for sales. We're going to collect unstructured document that you train your sales agent, and then you feed it to ArkLex component, and it will generate a task graph, which is a graph that talks about different processes for agent in sales. And then the human expert, best salesperson, can adjust and verify the task graph using our graphical interactive editor. And then one great thing that we can do that other traditional workflow cannot do is that we can automatically update these task graphs based on new information. For example, your promotion plan changes. You don't have to have your sales agent to change your task graph. We'll automatically real-time pull your promotion plan and repopulate the task graph to make it consistent. During test time, when a person comes in to interact with the agent that you build for sales, it will automatically explore if all the task graph would cover the possible conditions. But we all know that 80-20 rule, there will always be certain users that fall into the crack. Instead of don't know what to do with traditional task graph, ArkLex has a planner to take over the 20% that is not covered by task graph through automatic planning. So we have an algorithm that was pre-trained with existing data to know how to securely select passes in order to complete tasks. we will also have a safety budget that the planner will be able to hand over to human to avoid customer loss. Finally, once the automatic exploration completed with success, or the human teaching completed with success, we will augment new processes that explore by both human and agents to the existing task graph. So the task graph would cover more of these edge cases. So you can really think about the task graph as your domain knowledge, but the domain knowledge is expanding over time when more users are interacting with your agent. Over time, you'll execute and find more information and expand your task graph. So that's the reason that we call our ArkLex more controllable, because compared to AutoGen and other agent orchestration, we start with a task graph that is more deterministic. It is more easier to control and more efficient in terms of completing the task. It is also easier for your company to communicate internally about safeties and regulations. Finally, when it executes, it will be able to automatically continuously learn and expand that graph in order to bring in the intelligence part. So traditionally, when you build conversational agents, you're using Dialogflow, Rasa, or Amazon Lex. That starts with a fixed conversational flow, and it's very hard for it to expand and continuously learn. While ArkLex can do that without human inputs. That helps you to reduce a lot of time to maintain your system, and also helps you to jumpstart your system much faster. Without human drawing the graph, ArkLex can leverage the AI agent's information to draw the graph automatically. Here is a more detailed breakdown of functionalities of ArkLex compared to other tools. Today we're going to dive into one SaaS product we built on top of ArkLex, which is called e-commerce agents. Whenever we come to e-commerce employees, we are really centered on users. We have these particular process we wanted to support the users. First, awareness. How do we raise awareness so that customers could come to our website? How can we help the users through their consideration process, such as what kind of recommendation we can give them, what kind of content for us to help them to make decisions. And then finally, the decision parts. What kind of sales or promotions we can offer them to help them to make decisions easier. Finally, purchase. How do we communicate order? How do we communicate in terms of payment? Finally, post-purchase. How do we interact with customers in terms of customer support and so on? After purchase, we want to track what are users' lifetime values, how can we re-engage them, how can we make sure that they're loyal to customer overall. To run a successful e-commerce business, there are so many different functionalities. Are there certain functionalities that AI agents could take over so that the human agents could do more creative and more important tasks, such as branding, such as understanding their customers better? So today, we're leveraging two of our successful cases. The first use case is a customer needs a lot of education, and sometimes their customer service volume can be high, but they don't have a large team to respond in real time, which leads to delayed service, poor customer satisfaction, and so on. And they also have complex promotion schemes. It always requires human to do adjustment if they deploy any other previous agents, which is very high in terms of management. Their team also requires multiple language support, which means that the customers are all over the world. Because of the lack of support in terms of various language, it has various problems in terms of customer loss. Some of the sales agent also is not aware of the customer's purchase history, that makes wrong suggestions in terms of recommendation, and also is very delayed and give bad service, which also contributes to customer loss. So they look into our platform. We help them implement a customer-facing agent that, based on their sales and customer service training materials, finally we're able to integrate with their customer data sources, such as their customer relationship management system, inventory system. So the AI agent we built is more situated to tackle all the challenges. We help them to save 50% of customer service cost. So previously, they have to hire 2 employees and they're still getting all the complaints. Right now, they can just use 1 employee plus the AI agents, and then we get very good reviews and customer service feedback. So the other employees can be released to do more important tasks. We also are able to improve their revenue by at least 25% because of the better service care, and also better catered recommendation drives their sales. Also, the promotion scheme is much more automated, so it makes them easier to test different A/B promotion plans to optimize their revenue. How are we implementing the agent? First, we get their information about their best sales practice. So we basically have a conversation, or sometimes they just give us documents. And then these unstructured information will be the input, and then we will output this, what we call a task flow. Based on the task flow, agents will be able to communicate with user and perform actions. For example, understanding intent, being able to recommend different products, being able to put things into cart, and to use the right promotions to upsell to the users. If, for example, there are change of promotions, because it can real-time pull the new promotion, it will be able to automatically update the task graph like this, and then the new reply from the agent will be very seamlessly built in. Instead of saying the second dress is half price, it would talk about you got to reach $100 to enjoy the extra 30% discount. Another successful case is RichTech Robotics, who is selling robots. Their robots are very complex, very high. That's why it's very difficult to train sales agent with all the technical details. If customer asks various details, the sales system cannot reply, or has to take a long time to communicate with engineers to reply, that leads to customer loss. Because they sell globally, they require multiple channels to reach different customers, and they also have different people calling in from various time zones. Because their team is not globally deployed, so they also have problems in terms of covering customer requests 24/7 with multiple languages. So all these problems lead to customer loss. Another problem with these high deal price purchases is that you have to have multi-touch. It's not completed by individual salesperson. You may start with an incremental and then finally joining a pilot, so on. So multi-touch makes one agent not familiar with the entire customer insights. So it's difficult for them to have a seamless transition over these different processes. They utilize ArkLex framework to implement this customer-facing agent. Specifically, they have a sales training material that has multi-touch. For example, they're not using just one website chatbot. After they chat with the website chatbot, left the contact information, we can nudge them into attending a demo through sending an SMS or email. We're really optimizing towards which way the customers like to be contacted. We'll use these various channels to touch to them. Because it's AI, so it's very automated, it doesn't require a lot of human support, so this process can reduce a lot of lead loss. So we're able to help them to capture more leads, 35% more, and then through that, we're able to transition to at least 20% more revenue. Here is one example of RichTech's website. We have a chatbot that deployed with them, but the chatbot has also existed in other platforms like phones and SMS and so on. Before they have ArkLex, they spend a lot of money to get people on the website. Then they will leave email or SMS, and then because previously they may leave the website and then come back again. So you have these kind of abandoned cart issues. But if you use ArkLex, we track all these users through IP addresses. If the user return, we're able to pull all the information from CRM to know that this is a returning customer and be able to help them to consume their purchase journey. Sometimes they may not be able to complete the purchase through websites, then we can send them emails about the abandoned cart or send SMS messages about the abandoned cart, and then finally help them convert in other channels. Our agent was built with more of the domain language can actually contextually understand complex products as well. We're able to do multi-touch, for example, sending quotes through emails, booking seminars or demos. Finally, we're also doing upselling through these kind of promotion schemes that we just talked about. So in general, for ArkLex e-commerce AI agents, we're looking into helping enterprises to use these AI agents such as sales, customer service, even marketing analytics combined as well to supercharge your existing team. It's reducing your CAC, your customer acquisition cost, improve your customer lifetime value. Specifically, we're using AI tools to supercharge your existing team instead of replacing them. A lot of companies took a long time to deploy, and it's very hard to actually adjust these workflows in order to fit individual companies' need. We started with a developer tool. That's why we have a lot of possible configurations to do A/B tests to find the best sales processes for your individual brand, which gives you a lot of freedom to do the adjustment. So that's why we're saying the AI agents is not replacing all your employees. It's more about your employees would actually use it as a tool or a collaborator to be able to test out different ideas. They can do different A/B tests in terms of sales processes, given that they understand their users more through the logging and analytics that AI agents provide them. So this is a process that humans and agents are collaborating in order to make your business more profitable. Our managed service, which is our ArkLex e-commerce AI agents, really provides 364 customer journey care and can be personalized with multi-touch, configured with individual brands. We are also offering a enterprise developer tool options. Here is for a big enterprise that was a technical that wanted to have data security. So you can use this tool to privately deploy all the toolings that we have and mismatch different tools and processes that we provide, connecting that with your own data sources to do the optimization. We also provide support in terms of helping you to get your AI agents going as well. In general, ArkLex AI gives you more success, more control, more efficiency, security, and extendability and transparency to help you to make your e-commerce team more lean, more effective, and more profitable. If you're interested to know more, please contact us at arklex.ai. You can also test our product through open source so that you get a flavor of what our tools can do. And if you're an e-commerce brand, you don't have engineering resources, contact us. Thank you for listening.